All right. So there's a limit to how far realistically people, some things can go, but a lot of vested interest in some of those things. Take for instance now the stock exchange. Now we have a lot of brokers that make money from commission. Those of you who definitely want the news about the stock market being a booming enterprise to be out there, everybody. So we have a lot of people that actually be cashing out there. Those are the instructors, those were then the seminar teachers that teach anybody getting yourself into penny stocks, buy, the price will shoot up. You know, when the price keeps shooting up, who is going to be the person that buy the highest price? Well, you never can tell who, but I think that there will be a time whereby there's a higher limit whereby nobody wants to go higher than that. So at that point, when there's nobody willing to buy, everybody's willing to, and that everybody over there is looking to sell. So a huge sell-off can happen, and the whole thing just starts coming back down to exactly where the level where it should be, or probably initially lower than the level it should be before now adjust back to the normal level. You know, similar to the monkey story I told you earlier on. And this is something that's repeating itself over and over. This concept is just one person comes up, makes a huge noise um, about a particular new fantasy business. Everybody gets involved. It's even supported by even the governments and sometimes people, influential people that people are aware of, and then everybody keys into it. But not long after long, some people actually would have initially the promoters of it cash out, leaving everybody else waiting. And then what happens? The realistic events of things happen, and then everything comes back to the actual real market level where it should be. And I was going to talk about tulip mania. And tulip mania was a case whereby people were selling these onion bulbs. We don't eat tulips in this side of my world anyway, Nigeria. So, but we do have onions. But let's say something like onions being sold for the price of a house. At the end of the day, the whole thing came back down to exactly what it was supposed to be. But that also led to the starting of our futures markets, where they have promises of purchases or sale of an item in the future. And that's where the world started way by, since people are not actually needing the onion itself, because an onion could be sold as much as 6 times in a day, from one person to another person to another person to another person, then giving just speculative prices to the onion. So someone can say, I'll buy this onion by at this price in the future, at this time in the future at this price. So that's where the futures market came up. And then we have the also the I will just mention this lucky number slaving. In this, that was a movie, lucky number slaving. There was um, Morgan Freeman and what's his name? Um, this it was this bald headed guy that did that did Die Hard, Bruce Willis. Yes. So, and one other fantastic. There are a lot of good actors there, but those are Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman. Now, what happened in Talking About Slaving was a horse was actually chosen by some mafia guys to win a particular race. They actually plan to inject it with a form of steroid to make it run faster and win the race. But unfortunately, the information got leaked out. Everybody around knew about it, even the barber, the waiter, everybody just knew about it. So a lot of people were actually betting on the horse number 7 to win the race. But what happened after if they opened the doors for the horses to run out, horse number 7 fell down on the racetrack and died. What the mafia people did at that point was, because they knew the information was just out, everybody was betting on number 7 to win. What they now reversed their own initial plan of betting for it to win to making to that it would lose. So they ended up winning, making money from the loss of everybody else, because they took the opposite direction of what everybody took, and making better profits for themselves. Instead, what they actually wanted to inject also something that would kill it. So at the end of the day, they end up winning, and everybody else that were using the common information that was out there for everybody. Once they didn't know about when information was something just too out there, so that you feel and within yourself that this should be in information and it's just out there. So similarly for those that are trading forex, and they have to talk about a strategy trading strategy or strategy trading robot that was doing performing well, and when it comes just too out there and then everybody begins to use it, very soon love diminishing returns will happen. It will reverse back. That thing which was making profit for everybody will make everybody begin to lose. People will expect that someone like Jesus will not say something like this, and this is what he said. He said, the poor you are with you always, and that is because the poor people always have the ability of just doing what everybody is doing, and we cannot be doing the same thing. Let's say I'm a tailor, you are a tailor, someone else we know is a tailor. Who will sew clothes? Now we are all tailors. At the end of the day, the thing is that we end up having to do price wars, beating down our prices, and some of them also have to leave the business. Why? Because it's just not profitable enough at that point. Some will now start selling their machines and give away prices and so on like that. It's something that's always been happening. So when there are too many people doing the same line of business, it will crash. And that's why any business people do, most of the time, a good number of businesses crash, but only just a little percentage of people actually are really, really wealthy in this. A better number is not together. A better number is at least still do moderately well. But most of the people that actually go into any business, most of the time, lose. Similarly, it's just like every other business, even online trading. But just a small percentage of people are actually really going to be successful at it. So don't just rush into the business because everybody's saying. Do your own personal research about any business and get yourself involved with. Something also happened recently too about the quail egg business in Nigeria. We had this notion that the quail egg is good for diabetes patients. It is good news. But it seems that a lot of people are just rushing into the quail egg business, and I don't think it's something that anybody is even hearing about now. So price of quail just shot up, and right now price of quail is exactly what it should be. But a lot of people have already invested in it. But there's something else again. There's also people that are actually always making money at each and every single time those things happen. Take for instance the quail business. We have those that they sell battery cages for birds, yeah. So those ones have been going to cash out a lot of money because either by goods or services they are providers to this set of people. So those people are always at the top of the supply chain. They are always the one providing for everybody else that is in the rush for the mad business. Let me put it that way. So everybody else is in that business, rushing into it, but they are the ones that are looking at everything that's happening and looking at it as very good and good, not themselves involving in that business, but being the one supplying what everybody else. Because is a rush everybody's trying to get involved in. So yeah, they will have a huge volume of customers at that point in time. So but yet they can always supply the battery cages, let's say for the quail egg business, and also even after the whole madness has ended, they can still keep on doing that business because people are already knowing them that that's the business they do. And also now they have a lot like number of referrals. I can refer to them as they do these battery cages. And we had this phone call business that was really running rampant in Nigeria at the time. Every street, every corner, you see everybody starting phone call business. Now most of them are actually out of business. But several people that were actually making money there were the carpenters that were making the wooden sheds, or those that were the welders that were making the containers for them, or those that even were selling the umbrellas, those blue July umbrellas for them, or those that were doing wholesale of cards. So those were actually on the top of it, and it's even better if you are in the service business than even the goods supply business for this people. Why? Because with service business, you just need to have a set of equipment, and after that, everything is just about you selling your time and your skill for money, and it pays you a lot more because everything is almost like zero cost after your initial investment, and everything is just fully profit. About, let's say, we are employing staff, but always try to be at the top of that business. So going back to this Bitcoin of it, the economics of things was that there was really nothing backing up Bitcoin. Yes, blockchain was a very good technology. It is a good technology as well. It's good for in terms of transfers and so on, which is still applicable in various other areas. Just like it is, as I mentioned about the issue of being something that actually everything else can rely on. But Bitcoin itself was not a viable. Is currently not a viable because it's not backed up with anything. Our money in banks and by governments and so on is all backed up with gold. In fact, value in gold, and then if it is equated with something else, and you are given a particular value. But Bitcoin is something that someone can wake up one day and say something about it, and before the price shoots up, or someone says something the next day and the price shoots down. Really nothing to back it up as to the value of something to back it up as. That's why it actually can be at this level. Not just normal demand or supply. Just people's emotions, people feeling that it will rise, there's a rose. If it fall, then it falls. But the thing is, it's really nothing backing this thing now. So a country like Nigeria would say we don't support it. It tells the citizens. But unfortunately, people don't believe governments because let's say government has failed in various things in the past. So what do? They just do the opposite of what government tells them to do. India also is not supporting Bitcoin. China even did it last year most recently, and that's actually what I believe is actually causing the big noise right now because China tells its financial institutions or the major exchanges tell them don't involve in anything cryptocurrency because a lot of people are going to lose their money. This is a country interested in the welfare of its people. Good, but because now nobody know because these people can't now use these exchanges anymore in buying and selling of Bitcoin and so on. They want to cash out their money from Bitcoin into dollars or yuan or whatever currency that they feel like getting. So what happened at that point? Everybody wants to sell, and that sell-off is what exactly is happening right now. Now, if it was a normal day, a normal market, buyers, sellers. Right now, we have a lot of people in the war from over the 1 billion population of China. Not everybody is owning Bitcoin anyway, but you know that a huge volume of Bitcoin will be owned in that region. Almost everybody there trying to cash out and sell off their Bitcoin. A good number anyway that own BTC want to cash out and sell off their Bitcoin. And what happens at that point? I said it's like the monkey story. Everything will fall back to its normal price. Either it gets to a price that's lower than what would have been the normal price, or over time it now stabilizes at the normal price. So right now I'm not going to say what will happen in the future of Bitcoin, but I believe that the direction of BTC is, so. But personal opinion, about a month ago I knew after Elon Musk made that statement of BTC, him buying BTC, I knew it was going to rise. But I knew I hold my own personal opinion that it would have made the point of Bitcoin, that $1 billion Bitcoin, before he made that statement. So it will pay him when the price shoots up. And when it shoots up, the wise guys amongst the big boys sell off their Bitcoin, their Bitcoin holding at that price. So everybody else there is looking for the next person that will buy for them at a high price. And when there's nobody else trying to buy it, and those people are already pulled out because they know what's going to happen. So if the price falls and comes to the level, something economic will happen. Either bad news or policy or something happening somewhere, and everything just comes back to the level. And the people that really make money are everybody else that is knowledge that this kind of thing happens, and people that actually supply everybody else these technologies or services or goods. And I also wrap this within the gold rush in California, in San Francisco, California. In what year was that again? 18 something. All right. Right. Okay. So we let's cut.